Before I get on with the meat of the video, there's a few little things that I need to get out the way real quick. So the first thing I want to get out the way is this. So this coming Friday, my new beat album will drop. It's called Here Rises. You should be seeing the album cover right here. This is a Halloween themed album that consists of rap and trap music combined with rock and heavy metal. So pre-orders are now available at trueandfunny.bandcamp.com. The link is right there. There's also a pre-order that will be available on Apple Music as well. It's actually available right now rather. But the best place is to pre-order at trueandfunny.bandcamp.com because it will cost $5 there. Whereas everywhere else, whether you pre-order or not, it will cost $6. And it will be available at all major online music retailers and all major online music streaming services like Spotify and YouTube Music. And we got iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Music, and all that jazz. So yeah, there you go with that. And also, we're going to be celebrating the release of this album this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So yeah, catch me at the Purple website right here. trich.tv/true_inferno. We're going to be celebrating Halloween, because it will be Halloween night. That will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will go until sometime after midnight. I will be playing the entire album outside of the skits, all stream long. We're going to be playing some Phasmo, and then switch over to SCP. And yeah, there you go with that. So yeah, make sure to join me for both of for that event, and then to pick up the album. The album will drop that night at midnight. And also at trueandfunny.bandcamp.com, there will be an album listening party going on at the same time there as well. So there you'll be listening to the entire album, including the skits. So yeah, make sure to join me on that. Now, with all of that said, let's get on with the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. It's the boy True and Funny. Today's date is now Wednesday, October the 30th. So, before we get on to, this part that I have to announce is included, but before I get on to the strategies and talk about, doing Gigantamax Raids and all that jazz, let's talk about the news that I reported on Twitter, or X, if you want to call it that, whatever. So check this out. This is something that I received from Niantic. So if you missed the tweets that I sent out, that other content creators sent out, and GoHub sent out, I'm going to read it to you what it says. So check this out real quick. Thank you everyone for all of the feedback on Gigantamax you shared with us directly. I'm not going to read all of that intro. I'm just going to read the three most important things and then some clarification behind those three things I'm about to read off here. So basically, me and other content creators have submitted feedback in terms of the Gigantamax feature that, came out this past weekend involving, Blastoise, Venusaur, and Charizard. So here's what they said that's going to happen. Adding 25,000 dust as a reward for each completed Gigantamax Gengar. Keep in mind, not Gigantamax Raid, Gigantamax Gengar. We want players to feel like they can quickly gain back the resources they invested into the Gigantamax system and feel like participating is more rewarding. Our intent is to help create a positive cycle when trainers participate in Gigantamax encounters, leading to more. Next thing. Increasing the catch rate. We want players to feel rewarded for accomplishing such a huge feat. And right now, the catch rate didn't match the experience we wanted. We'll be increasing this for Gengar, and we will continue to monitor other Gigantamax encounters. And then the third thing, adjusting the difficulty slightly. Tuning Gengar to make the encounter easier compared with other Gigantamax encounters. While we want Gigantamax to be the new high bar for a meaningful challenge in Pokemon Go, we want to make sure that players have a reasonable chance to defeat Gengar. You still need to strategize and coordinate with your group and go in powered up to a degree, but we think this tuning will make things slightly easier to help a range of trainers jump into Gigantamax. So there you go with that. Now again, those three changes will be in place for Gigantamax Gengar. Everything beyond that, including Gigantamax Toxicity, will not be affected by these changes at this moment in time. So that main change after Gigantamax Gengar is done, but at this moment in time, these changes will only be in effect for Gigantamax Gengar, which is why your continuous feedback is important. And also, another note, just to make sure we're setting the right expectations, when we say Gigantamax Gengar will be slightly easier, now this part I did not read or report on Twitter, because this was reported, I think, like Tuesday actually. It really is just slightly easier. There's a lot of emphasis on slightly compared to other Gigantamax encounters. At Tier 6, Gigantamax battles are meant to be Pokemon Go's toughest challenge yet. We tuned Gigantamax Gengar slightly easier relative to the other Gigantamax encounters, but trainers will still need to gather with their community, power up their Pokemon, and coordinate max moves in order to be successful. I hope this helps clarify the difficulty tuning, as we don't want trainers to think they can just roll up to the encounter with just a few friends and little prep and expect to defeat it. So there you go with that. So we're going to approach this as if they did not do any of these changes. Because remember, after Gigantamax Gengar, these changes might not stay. So we're going to assume that the changes that I just read to you guys doesn't take place. So let's get on with it. So what's going on here? Obviously, Gigantamax Raids came out, but apparently we only got 3 this past weekend, and they're not out right now. And of course, Gengar is coming out starting on Halloween at 10 a.m. And I'm assuming it will be here until the Halloween event is over. So there you go with that. Now, when it came to the Gigantamax Raids that we took part in this past weekend, we just straight up went into it wrong. So how do we did the Gigantamax feature wrong? So basically, we just rushed in and did the same thing that we always do when it comes to raiding. And that is this. Just rush in and attack only. Tap, 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 and attack only. And attack only. Once we realize, oh snap, we're not beating it, we rush in, power up Pokemon that we thought was useful to either level 40 or level 50 or in between, and then go back in and tap, 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 attack, 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 attack once again. So all of this resulted in failed raids. Like, I've seen reports of groups of 40, the maximum, failing raids. You know, I was involved in a group of 20 failing raids. There's some communities that cancel it because they're thinking that they're going to fail the raids. So all of this happened this past weekend, but that portion of Gigantamax raiding is not your fault. The reason for that is because we was not properly prepared or instructed rather on how important Max Guard and Max Spirit are. All we was thinking is attack, 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 because that's the mindset we have in regards to raiding in Pokemon Go since the beginning. Like, hardly anybody dodge, so all we do is just attack, attack, attack. And even with PvP, we value Shadow Pokemon more than Purify and regular Pokemon. Why? Because that attack boost, even though the defense boost or the defense get nerfed, or wait a minute, not nerfed, is, you know, goes down rather, the attack stat goes up with Shadow Pokemon. So we are attack heavy, but that's because that's how the game like got us wired to be. So there was never really any clear-cut instruction on how Max Guard, Max Spirit will be important for Gigantamax raids. They're not even important in Dynamax raids. They were, even though they were available for that, but they were not important, and nobody never really gave us instruction on how important they can be. So it's not your fault. That part is not your fault. What is your fault? Well, let me rephrase this. If you're watching this video, then I would probably say that what I'm about to say is not your fault. If you've been watching this video, if you've been watching Training Tips video, or Mystic 7s, or Zoe 2 Dots, or Cricket 23s, or whoever's video, if you've been going to the Go Hub, Leaked Up, Cubbo Gaming for research, what I'm about to say is also not your fault, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that is research. What I'm talking about is really the offline community, the individual who don't go online and watch content creator videos like Training Tips or myself or Miss 7. They don't go to streams and check out what Fleets Keen and Zoe 2 Dots and Cricket 23 and Japan Lover are doing. They're not doing all that stuff. They're the individuals who are staying away from online stuff, just walking in with their kid, who have the ruler, the Charmander, and thinking, oh, we're just going to attack and get this done and go and not talk to anybody. No. So with all of that said, let's talk about what you need to do in order for you to be successful when going up against a Gigantamax Raid Boss. The first thing you need to do is, like, if you are a part of a local community, whether it's from Campfire, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Discord, I don't care what it is, whoever you know that is going to one of these raids, if they're not into like online stuff, like they're not on Twitter, they're not watching content creators, they're not watching streamers, you need to make sure, you need to force them pretty much to watch content creators, watch the videos, and make them do the research, because they just scroll up in there thinking, oh, I'm just going to attack and beat the Gigantamax Gengar. No, y'all gonna fail. So you need to let them know to watch these videos, and this is the video to watch. This one right here. And also Training Tips video is also another one to watch. He is more in depth with the information and the details behind the numbers that I'm going to present to you guys as well. So those are the videos you need to watch. Also, get them, hooked them on Pokemon Go Hub for research, Leak Duck for research, and a couple of gaming for research as well. There's other content creators out there like Zori 2 Dots, Lando Alpha got graphics on Instagram. So they need to do research. I don't care how they do it. They need to do it. And you, who is watching this video and it's all about the research, it's all about the content creators, and also have a local community they can go to, need to get them involved with the research. So that's the first thing. Now, let's get on to the actual Gigantamax battles. So let's talk about the importance of Max Attack, Max Guard, and Max Spirit. So in case you're wondering what they are, Max Attack is what the name says, you're attacking. Max Guard, though, is basically you defending just yourself, not your whole group, not the entire amount of trainers battling this one raid boss, just you. Which is, I thought was lame at first, but once I learned what Max Guard really is, and I'll explain more in a second, I can understand why. And then of course Max Spirit, where you're healing your group. So let's get on with this. So when you have a Dynamax Pokemon, it's a max attack power. It basically goes like this. You can either keep at level 1, power it up to level 2, or max it out to level 3. But here's what you're doing. You're going to be dealing 250 power at level 1, 300 at level 2, and 350 at level 3. That's Dynamax Pokemon with their attack power. Gigantamax Pokemon, on the other hand, with their attack power, you're looking at level 1, 350, same as level 3 Dynamax, that is. Level 2 is 400, and level 3 is 450, which is crazy to think about in comparison to Dynamax. So there you go with that. Now, Max Guard, apparently, I'm not sure if this is just Dynamax or Gigantamax. I'm assuming it's both. I don't know. When they shield, at level 1, you're basically protecting about 20% of your HP. Level 2 is 40%, not 40%, 20 HP. Level 2 is 40 HP, and level 3 is 6 AP. And if you're healing, meaning you're healing your group, not the entire party, not the entire amount of trainers doing this battle, just your group of 4, and I'll explain more of that in a second. Level 1, you're gonna heal 8% of your party HP. Level 2 is at 12%, and level 3 is at 16% of your group's HP. So, and I mentioned this already, but I'm gonna mention it again here. Shields only work for the Pokemon that use it, and not for the whole team, and obviously not for the whole party of 40, or whatever the case may be. It's only just for you. Because here's what happens. When you shield, you're going to take the role of a tank. So this is DPS right here, or really, role playing right here. MMORPG, there we go. You're going to take the role of a tank, and the raid boss will only attack you. The whole purpose of being a tank is to draw in the attack, because you can take it. You are built to take attacks. That's what a tank is. So when you use the shield, the Pokemon, that Gigantamax Pokemon, is only going to attack you. And I'll explain how that attack pattern works in a minute. There you go with that. And on that note, communication is key. So I understand the fact that people are introverts and they don't want to be extroverts. But like, if you really want this done, like, you really need to step up and say, hey, I want to attack, or hey, I want to heal, or hey, I want to be the tank. And it's not like you trying to rally a group of 40 or anything like that. When you are in a group, you need to figure out who is in your group. Like, you need to walk around and say, yo, who is so and so? Or if you hear your trainer name, you need to raise up and say, yeah, that's me, and then go over there and see what they're talking about. Because obviously they're going to talk about who's attacking, who's doing the shield, or who's going to be the tank, and who's going to be the healer. That's where communication comes to play. Again, it's not about the entire amount of people there. No, it's all about the group that you're in for that one raid boss. So communication is key. Now let's get on with the general strategy. So this is, in my opinion, for every single Gigantamax Raid Boss going forward. So here's the deal. If you want to tank, you need to bring in Pokemon that have Max Guard and Max Attack. The main purpose here is for you to use Max Guard, but if you're at the point where your guard is okay, then you can attack. Otherwise, you're using Max Guard. If you want to heal, you're bringing in Pokemon that have Max Shield, or Max Spirit rather, and Max Attack. So obviously your main purpose here is to heal your team. So that's basically it. But, and I'll explain more of this in a second, if your teammates and yourself don't need heals, then you attack. It's that simple. And then of course, if you want to attack, which most of you probably would, you're going to bring in a super effective attacker with Max Attack and either a Max Shield or a Max Spirit. And obviously at this point, you're going to be attacking, but if there's an emergency where you need to heal yourself or a teammate, or you may need to be a tank, is right there. So between the two, you're probably gonna need to heal a teammate as opposed to you being a tank. But your main focus is to attack. Then secondary focus is to heal the team, and then the last focus is to shield and be the tank. So there you go with that. Now let's get on with the gameplay. So with the gameplay, there's basically two phases rather. The first phase is what I'm gonna call the damage phase, and the other one is the giant phase. So let's talk about the damage phase real quick. So you'll be put into a group of 4, and there can be a maximum of 10 groups. So we talk about 40 trainers here, maximum, that can do this one raid. The purpose of the damage phase is to not only like lower the boss health, which like you won't do much there, but the main purpose here is to fill up that max meter. So what you do is you use quick moves, charge moves, you grab max orbs by swiping to the left or the right. When you see the red ball popping up, I think the letter M or the X would be on it, but nevertheless, you're gonna swipe over there and you're gonna get that orb, and it's gonna boost your max meter. So the whole purpose here is to get to the giant phase, as the boss, once in the giant phase, cannot attack you. Once that meter is full, and your group will choose between the 3 Pokemon that you each brought in to either Dynamax or Gigantamax. So basically, you're going to see on the right of your screen, and you have like, I think 3 seconds to pick, but you want to pick the one that is suited to your role. So again, if you're an attacker, you want to bring in a Pokemon that's going to be attacking. If you're going to be a healer, you want to bring in a Pokemon that's going to be the healer. If you're going to be a tank, you're going to bring in the Pokemon that's going to be the tank. You do not want to lead off with those Pokemon. You do not want to lead off with the Pokemon because they're going to receive some damage. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. That's where the other Pokemon come to play, to take the damage in the damage phase, which is another reason why I call it the damage phase. You're doing damage, well, barely damage to the boss, but the main focus here is to get that max meter up. But at the same time, the boss will attack you and deal damage to you. And we don't want that to happen to your healer, to your tanker, to your attacker. We don't want that. So do not lead off with those Pokemon. Have them either in that second slot or the third slot. But once it's time to Dynamax or Gigantamax, you pick that one that you're going to be rolling with, attacker, healer, or tank, and then you roll from there. So, like I said, during this phase, referring to the giant phase, you will fulfill your role, whether it's attack, heal, or become the tank. Also, you can bring in your Pokemon that have the lowest health to receive heals, which is where communications come into play. So basically, let your healer know, hey, I'm about to bring in a Pokemon that needs heals. And then they're going to say, okay, cool. And if y'all want, 2 of y'all can be healing as well to, you know, give y'all more heals, and then y'all be straight for the next round of the damage phase. For healers, look at the top. You should see at the top of the screen to see your group's Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon's health. If any of them are low, heal them. So yeah, you will be able to see at the top. You should see 3 Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon at the top and what they're doing. Either they're attacking, they're healing, or they're shielding. So yeah, you'll be able to look at the top and see what they are, where their help is at, stuff like that. But again, you want to communicate this before you select your Dynamax or your Gigantamax Pokemon that have the role that you're going to be fulfilling. Once you use your max moves 3 times, you will go back to the damage phase. During the damage phase, the boss will do 2 types of attacks. Out of the group, only one of the 4 Pokemon will have this spider sense go up. They're going to have 3 lines above their head. That means that the boss Pokemon will only attack that one specific Pokemon. And in this case, we want it to be the tank, the one who used the shield, the max shield, the max guard rather. That's what we want. That's what we want right there. So there you go with that. Now, this right here will be their strongest attack. They're going to do 2 types of attacks, like I said. This one, where they solo attacking the Pokemon, will be their strongest attack. Now, dodging is available, but it's difficult to pull off. So yeah, you go see the 3 spider senses, and they go say attack incoming. You're going to get a message that says attack incoming. You probably want to be dodging like crazy if you can. You're still going to take some damage, but you still see a message that says dodge. But again, it's difficult to pull off, so there you go with that. Now, the other attack they will do, it would do a group attack where it would just attack everybody in the group. And there's not much of a signal that says, hey, this attack is coming, wherever the case may be. So I wouldn't try dodging that. So there you go with that. Now, if your Pokemon faint, do not leave the raid thinking, oh, it's over, I'm about to try again. No, do not leave. Because you can still play an important role in defeating the raid boss, even if all 3 of your Pokemon faint. Even if your whole group faint. All you gotta do is there's gonna be a button at the bottom of the screen telling you to tap the button to cheer. So once you fill up the cheer, the max meter will go up even faster. which is again, the whole purpose is to make the max meter go faster so we can get to the giant phase, so we can do damage and heal up and be tanks. And the boss Pokemon is doing jack squat, cause just standing there taking the hits. So that is very, very important to not leave the raid and just tap that chill button and fill it up as many times as you can. So that's pretty much the strategy when dealing with a Gigantamax raid. Now let's talk about strategy for Gengar, which is coming up starting on Thursday, the day after this video drops. So if you want to be an attacker, you want to bring in 2 Gengars with max attacks, and you want their quick attack and their charge attack to be ghost type moves. Because remember, Gengar is ghost and what is it? Poison. So you don't want it to have a poison move, you want it to have a ghost move. And again, please do not lead off with the Gengar. Ghosts are super effective against ghosts. So the boss could potentially one-shot you. Do not lead off with your Gengars. Do not lead off with your Gengars. So keep that in mind. And as an attacker, bring in 1 Blastoise. Make sure it have Bite as a quick attacker. Bite is a dark type, which is also super effective against ghost type, which is what Gigantamax Blastoise is. And make sure that Blastoise have max shield. I don't care what the charge move is. It could be Hydro Pump. It could be the Steel move. I don't care what it is. Make sure it's have Bite as a quick attack move. So there you go with that. And also bring in max shield. So 2 Gengars with max attacks. Both of them should be ghost type moves. And 1 Blastoise with Bite as a quick attack move and a max shield. In case you need, in case you need to be a shield for some odd reason. Healers. Bring in 1 Gengar with max attack, and again, make sure you have ghost type moves, especially that charge move. And bring in 2 Blastoise with Bite as a quick attack move and max heals, because you're going to be healing. So keep that in mind. You're going to be healing. And then for the tanks, bring in 1 Gengar with max attack, again, the ghost type moves fiasco. And bring in 2 Blastoise with Bite as a quick attack move and max shields. So there you go with that. Now, in terms of feedback, again, once the Halloween event is over and Gigantamax Gengar is gone, feedback is important. So I should have a video on Gigantamax Gengar, in my battles rather. So when that video drops, leave your feedback in that comment section. I will go over it. I will see if your feedback makes sense, and then I will include it in with my feedback as well. So make sure to watch that video whenever that video drops. It may be this coming Monday. I don't know where I'm gonna drop that video, but make sure to watch that video. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and then we can go from there. And one last thing that I'm gonna say is this Saturday, I will be attending a meetup. I'm not gonna say who's running the meetup or where it is, because what I want to do is contact the community ambassador there and see if I could like drop this video in their campfire group so people can watch it and do research and talk about strategies and stuff like that. So yeah, I will be attending the meetup, whether they allow me to do it or not. I will be attending that meetup on Saturday. I don't know what I'm doing on Sunday, but yeah, I will be attending that meetup on Saturday. So I will, if I am given the go ahead to drop this video to share strategy with that group, I will probably either, I know I'm going to tweet about it. I may do another video about it, about the meetup. Say, hey, the meetup is located here. It's going to start at this time and stuff like that. So there you go with that. Now, if you reached this part of the video, leave me in the comment section below strategy. If you wish this part of the video, leave in the comment section below strategy. And at the very end, there's going to be 2 cards. One of them will be something that YouTube recommends. The other one will be the last video that I put out, which was, ironically enough, my Gigantamax video when I took on Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. So there you go with that. I'm gonna call it a wrap. And with all that said, y'all know this is boy New J Guy Speak, aka New Stupid Name Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah. No. Thanks, man. Do it. After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Lewis the trainer, articulating paint. With my tongue, I done things that people said I can't. Now they rank 'em with the elite, but it's for the people, and victory is part of defeat. Cause when you get back on your feet, then you try again. Learn from mistakes, show 'em that I got what it takes, and I'm dying to win. I'ma hit and move away.